20-yard line. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a player of the game from each team. Will be candidates for the National Miller Lite Player of the Week honors. Jamie Morris is certainly earning early consideration. There's Mark Rippon, who was replaced last week as the starting quarterback. Mark had the misfortune of having all those fumble problems with sacks. He's been sacked 12 times this year and fumbled 11 of the 12 times. But Doug Williams said he and Mark Rippon have a terrific relationship. Unlike, as Doug said, I had with that other guy who was the quarterback there last year, Jay Schroeder. Second down and 9. Art Monk. Near the 28-yard line, Seth Joyner with the tackle. Monk is chasing Ozzie Newsome and Raymond Berry on the all-time list. Came in with 624 catches today, and he's on his way to another 1,000-yard season.
All three of these receivers, Monk, Clark, and Sanders, all probably will go over 1,000 yards. Monk, as you look at his stats, said that when he first came into the league, it was speed that you needed as a wide receiver. But now, after playing for many years, I realize now it's just how smart you are, how you can read the defenses, how you can find how to get open. That's important, not the speed. Sure, great to have it, but at the same time, the older you get, the smarter you get as a receiver.
Doug Williams, back surgery after a treadmill accident. He's wearing a flak jacket in reverse down on his lower back. And look at the hit he took on the last play.
Well, he said last week after the first hit, he realized he was going to be all right. He slips, actually, and falls down. And anytime you have a back injury, notice the flag jacket, you can see the outline of it through the jersey. But you have a back injury, you got to wonder, you know, if I hit the ground, what's going to give? And he said after the first hit last week, hey, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Third down and less than a yard for the Washington Redskins. We have reached the 2-minute warning with the Redskins up 10-0.
Carlos?
Yeah.
Bikes for Toledo.
Our bike business had never been better. So one day we just looked at each other and knew it was time to go public.
Who's in this meeting?
Our bankers and lawyers. Fax me those numbers.
Nervous?
Great, thank you. I'm very confident we'll continue to increase our market share next year.
Je suis d'accord avec vous. Your return gives us an accurate picture of your capital needs. Where it feels right.
When are we going to hear?
All right, my friend. Back to New York, guys. There it is.
Never agree on a restaurant, right? Hey, I ordered already. I found this a great wine.
Oh, a decision maker.
Oh, this is wonderful wine. I had this at David's.
I served this at my place. It was a big hit.
You guys, I was hoping you hadn't tried it yet.
Oh, come on. We finally found something we all agree on, you know? I mean, when was the last time that happened?
Ernest and Julio Gallo invite you to try White Grenache. It will change the way you think about Gallo.
2 minutes to go in the first half of play. Doug Williams and the Redskins lead it by 10. They face a third down and less than a yard now. Doug, of course, started his NFL career at Tampa Bay, where his tight end was Jimmy Giles. They have remained the best of friends. Jimmy starting today as a tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles. Matter of fact, they went to dinner last night. Doug said, Jimmy pays for this one. We're on his turf. The Redskins this year only 13 of 23 on 3rd and 1 plays. That's what they've got here. Morris, that's close. And from the line judge's mark, I think he got it. That's one of those right foot, left foot jobs, Jared.
Really, that's a small back going underneath the pile. You would think a lot of times a small back would go over the pile, and if Riggs, once again, if Riggs was in the ball game, you would understand the pile would be moving. But the running that has been successful by the Redskins has been to the left side, not to the right side, but to the left side.
Here's the stretch. Got it. First down. Just barely.
Now you can go into your 2-minute offense. Now it's showtime. Now it's fun time. You know, you work these. You know they're going. You know the Eagles should give the Redskins zones. They should drop off and try to keep everything underneath, not allow the big play. Man-to-man coverage allows the big play, but go into zones.
Doug Williams said yesterday that his timing with his receivers was definitely off last Sunday night. He thinks it's going to be much better today because he's had a couple of weeks to work with it now.
Well, it makes a difference, believe me.
1:35 to go in the first half. Flags are down. Jerome Brown makes the tackle after the 34.
That hit Ray Brown right at the ankle. Ray Brown on Reggie White, and the flag landed right on his foot.
Holding, number 67 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's why it hit him on the foot.
He got up and looked down and saw that yellow flag, and you had to know that it was against him. But going back to that call, you know, the game of football is just a game of outguessing one another. And there's the play. There's Smith, and there's the pull. Good job of pulling by Ray Brown. If you're going to go ahead and hold a guy, do a good job of it, and I guarantee you did a fine job.
Reggie, who has been complaining in recent weeks about being held, said, I think I'm going to be quiet because he thinks there's been a reverse reaction. They're getting more calls made against his team now as a result of his complaining. And there's the handoff to Morris as the Redskins go conservative. And apparently will be content to try and sit on a 10-0 lead, but the Eagles will use a timeout now. I believe this will be Philadelphia's. There's a player down as well. Andre Waters, he's up, and time has been called.
One of these guys is a pro photographer. One's a dentist. With the autofocus EOS 750, it's tough to tell them apart. Canon EOS. Now you don't have to be a pro to shoot like one. And with the EOS 750, now you don't have to be a pro to afford one. Autofocus Canon EOS, so advanced, it's easy to shoot like a pro.
By the way, Doc, could you look at this tooth?
Now, a $50 rebate direct from Canon.
1:15 to go first half, and the Eagles do use one of their 3 timeouts. Doug Williams comes back on. There was some conjecture, Terry, he might not come back and play after the back surgery, but Doug said that 2 days after he had the surgery, he knew he would be able to come back through rehabilitation and hard work. 2nd down and 20. Tice goes to the left side. Byron Evans from behind makes the initial contact and then gets some help. And Reggie White signals timeout again for Philadelphia. They'll use their 2nd.
Well, it's obvious that Joe Gibbs was hoping that he could establish some type of running game and kill the clock. He really wasn't trying to score, even get into field goal position, especially after the holding penalty on Ray Brown.
Ray Brown holding Reggie White. As we said, there's been a lot of complaining. Oh, boy.
Isn't that supposed to be who's holding whom? I'm a college grad. I know that.
That's right.
There's Reggie. Did a lot of complaining, and it's a known fact that if you complain a lot about the referees, that it's only natural that, you know, these guys are human beings, and it might bring a few more flags your way, and the best thing to do is just go about your business and let your coaches do your hollering, and then even that can get carried away.
We've got 1:07 to go before halftime, and coming up at the half, Brandon Irv with all the scores, highlights, and latest information, and the story of how the Red Hot Giants kept the heat on this week to get Ram tough. We know how they did it. They stayed west. Of course, the Eagles stayed west last week.
Yeah.
They played in Denver, and then they went out to San Diego, and there was some criticism locally here in Philadelphia that they should have come back and then gone out.
And I'm a player. I'm glad I'm in California.
Absolutely. As if the sun hits. Oh, boy.